Hi everyone, welcome to my live at 5. Thank you for joining me today. I can't believe where that week's gone. It's Wednesday again. I was actually in London yesterday, so I've had a pretty hectic week so far, and I'm only halfway through the week. Anyway, today I'd like to talk to you about how Salesforce can change your life. So I'd like to talk you through 3 of our success stories so that you can learn a little bit about where people have taken their careers after learning Salesforce. What I would suggest is towards the end of the session, I will drop in the link to my Calendly diary. I will also drop in a link to my email address. So please feel free to book in some time with me, and I'd be delighted to talk you through best next steps. So if I start off with Soma, we have so many great success stories, and of course you can read them on the website, but I'm just going to pin down with 3 for a moment. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So Soma, just to start off with, she was a primary school teacher. I speak to a lot of people that have been in the education system and they've decided that they want to change their career, and obviously no different with Soma. So she was a primary school teacher for 5 years. She moved to the UK from the Netherlands after to be a digital illustrator to start with, and she her husband had mentioned learning Salesforce and it really sparked an interest, and she hasn't looked back since. So it's great to look at these success stories and see where someone has come from and where it takes them to. So she moved originally, she's now a junior admin. Oh, sorry, she was a junior admin. She's now a Salesforce admin. She was living in the Netherlands, as I say, but she originally lived in India. So she learned her career out there. And in fact, that's where she was the primary school teacher. So it just proves that you can come from any background and absolutely learn Salesforce and change your career for the better. The majority of people will learn Salesforce because they want a better work-life balance, they want that flexibility and the financial stability. So Soma was able to launch her career in Salesforce because she decided that she just wanted to go for it. The foundational knowledge is admin, so she wanted to learn admin in the first instance. She loved the fact that you had a mentor, and she had the live sessions with the trainer, and of course that was something else that she found so important. I think in terms of learning something, I know for me personally, it's always important to have that structure and guidance in place, and as I say, the same for Soma. So Soma's now current day would look like, so she was a junior Salesforce admin at Cloud Please. She supported SMEs to scale their business by implementing or growing their Salesforce. Her day-to-day work involved all the admin tasks like user management, creating profiles and permissions, managing security settings, custom objects, and always integrating with other systems and Salesforce, creating automations rather than the complex business scenarios, etc. Again, the thing to know about Salesforce admin is it's all click, there's no code. So it's quite nice to be able to learn something that you can come from being a children's book illustrator as she was, and previously in India being a nursery school teacher. So it's great to see where people have come from, and I'm sure that will resonate with some of you watching. So what I'm going to just quickly do is drop the link in for Soma's story so that you can have a look yourself and watch. There's a nice video actually of her as well. So let me just find that. Here we go. Right, so I'm going to drop that in. So that is Soma's story if you would like to read that. That's just come out through now. Okay, so the next person I was going to talk about is Bill. Now, Bill has such a great story. He has gone from an airline pilot to now being a freelance Salesforce consultant. So what Bill did was he did the admin course. He's done a consultancy course with him, and with us as well. And as part of the admin program, it includes work experience project that you do with a real live organization. And Bill is such a great success story because he's gone on to work for the company and to improve the business of the organization that he did his work experience with. So again, sometimes you might think that you want to start something afresh and you think, well, how can I prove that I have the knowledge, the industry knowledge to go with my transferable skills to be able to break into a completely new career? And absolutely, Bill is living proof that you can go from an airline pilot to being a Salesforce consultant. So I think Bill is such a great person as well. He loves to share his story with you. And I think from Supermums across the board, anyone that you speak to that's done training with Supermums, you'll find that they're all so keen to share their story because they've had such a great experience. I think the community is huge at Supermums, and everybody, it's really nice, you know, if everybody gets to meet up. When I say everybody, because we have such a global audience with Supermums, it's not always possible for everybody to get together. But I know that Heather met with Catalina in Spain last week at an event. So we can often get you in touch with people globally as well. So you'll be part of a group chat where you can talk to each other and enthuse and excite each other. And of course, help and guide each other as well as celebrating each other's successes. And Bill is a true Supermums consultant now. He comes along to some of our events that we have in London. He's always the one with the bright coloured shirt on, and he's always so excited to tell you about his experience with Supermums. Supermums have a really great amount of, I think it's 4.9 on Trustpilot. So have a look at the Trustpilot reviews as well, because there's so many 5-star reviews on there. I know that Liam, the trainer, he always gets 5-star reviews from everyone. So why did Bill decide to join Supermums in the first place? So he was an engineer in avionics. As I said, so he was into aeroplanes, and he got bored. He wanted something a bit more exciting. So he retrained in the air transport industry where he was for 20 plus years. And he decided to get involved as a senior manager and a director in flight ops. And obviously, as with anything, you know, it's a tough industry. It's not something that he wanted to do long term. He then got behind the cockpit and did long haul flights. And then he found that he wanted more time with his family. So, you know, that is often something that we hear a lot. You know, his wife is a trademark attorney, and they'd set a business up together. So he's got lots of strings to his bow. And as many people I speak to, you know, you can have some really great transferable skills, and it's great to put your previous knowledge and transferable skills with a cert in Salesforce, and it obviously is going to propel you into the ecosystem. So Bill is definitely someone to have a look on the success stories and see exactly where he's come from. He himself says that the Supermums courses gave him tremendous confidence for going forward and setting himself up as an independent consultant. So absolutely, let me share his link with you as well and have a look at what Bill's got to say. Because it's really great to hear from other people and see, you know, where it's taken them. So let me just drop that into the chat. So thank you for joining me. I can see a few people online there. And as I said, if you've got any questions about how to break into Salesforce, have a look at the success stories, have a look at the website, but absolutely grab yourself a coffee and come and have a chat with me, because I am so excited and delighted to talk to you about you as a person, where you've been working previously and where you see yourself, and we'll see if we can work out a plan together. I love a plan. So the last one that I was going to talk to you about today was Kate. So let me just grab Kate's information here, because I'm going to share that with you again as well. And Kate, as it happens, was also a preschool manager. So she worked in the education. I do speak to quite a few people who've worked in education and decide that they want to upskill into Salesforce. I mean, people come from so many different backgrounds. We had a lady that was a florist, and you know that you might think that you're maybe not techie. The fact that it's all click and no code, as I mentioned before, that's the great thing, because it's something that anyone can learn. So back to Kate, she fell into education after becoming a mum. She was a mum of one. She's fast forwarded 8 years, and she's associate sales consultant at Ignito. She's working flexibly around her 10-year-old son now, and doing a role that inspires her every day. And these success stories are so great to hear, because it's so nice to speak to people. I almost feel like a very proud mum, because I'll have the initial conversation with you, and then you'll go on to do some really awesome things. And for me, that is just, you know, that's what life is all about, is empowering other people to do some great things. So Kate, a mum of one from the UK, fell into education after she became a mum, and just realised how expensive childcare was. She needed something that was flexible around her little one. So she skilled up as a childminder while he was little, and then went to nursery. And then Kate ran a village preschool. She loved what she was doing, but found that she wanted a better work-life balance. Now her son's getting a bit older, and she wanted to do something slightly different. Word of mouth is huge at Supermums. So many people tell other people the experience they've had, which is exactly what happened with Kate. Her best friend had studied with Supermums, and was really excited for her to get involved. And her husband was actually a super dad, so he did training with Supermums back in 2018 as well. There's another lady that you'll read about called Anna Maria, and she did the training with Supermums, and now her husband is also doing the training. So slightly reversed, but the same thing happened. And this is what happens, is people do training with us, and then they tell other people. So be it their husband, their wife, their friend, their sister. And that's where a lot of people train with us. So as I said, Kate had no experience of Salesforce even. She didn't understand what it was or how it worked. And her husband had suggested going on to Trailhead, which is some free resource that you can get from Salesforce itself. Trailhead is amazing. And I did Trailhead as well. And I think the only thing is, some people can self-learn. But for Kate, and the same for me, personally, I needed the structure and guidance for somebody to say, Lynn, be there on Tuesday for a live session. And I was there. And then do your homework, but before the next live session. It just prompts you forward to be able to do it. If you are able to do it on your own, then great. But I speak to a lot of people that absolutely can't do it. And I think, you know, you do a lot of juggling, especially as a mum. And, you know, it's about managing your time. As we all know, there's no time for anything. I understand that. But of course, what you're doing is you're managing your time for future, you know, perfection for your family. So, you know, if you want to attend the school play, or you want to take your children to school and pick them up afterwards, You've got to put some effort in to get the rewards. So that's why I always say. So as I said, so Kate tried to learn on her own. She tried to self-learn, but it just didn't really sink in. She was juggling full-time work, parenting, and trying to teach herself something completely new, and she didn't really understand it. So she hadn't been, sorry, I correct that. She hadn't been an end user of Salesforce either, so had no experience. Where for me, when I started learning on my career with Supermums, I had some end user knowledge. So I had a little bit of knowledge, but it's so vast that there's so much to learn in Salesforce. So if you're sat there as an end user, there is so much more to know. So, again, when we talk, then I can talk you through that. So Kate said, Supermums was just what I needed. Having weekly sessions, homework tasks, a supported cohort, and people like her, and having the mentor, of course, which again is huge for a lot of people, was so helpful. Also, by actually paying for a course and making the investment in herself, it made her accountable for her to want to get certified to get where she needed to be. And I think that's something that I hear quite a lot. She loved all the course content. She loved the guest speakers, the topics, the tasks, and tried to soak up as much as she could. And also, wanted to commit to doing something. Again, you will find the time, if it means doing something extra on weekends or evenings when the children are in bed, then you will make the time. Because when you think about the structure of the admin program, the first 3 months, so 12 weeks of your life, you've got to put in some graft, of course you have. But then after that, because you then get your study groups and your mock exams and all of that to prepare for your exam, the final 2 months is a project with an organisation. If you remember what I mentioned with Bill, where Bill went on to work for that organisation, that's what is great, is you're learning it, you're studying it to get your exam, and then you're actually doing some work in the industry. And that is so useful. The fact that you can then get, the experience by getting your hands dirty in an organization. You won't find that, if you self-study, of course you won't. So I know that when Kate had finished learning, she was so nervous about looking for her role in her new career. Her husband kept telling her, just apply for jobs. If it doesn't look quite right, just apply, and make sure your LinkedIn profile, that is huge, is up together. And when you think that she's now gone on to get a great job in the industry, and again, that confidence word again, when I say about confidence, it's so nice to hear people say that, they've gained so much confidence from the training as well. I know for me, back to me again, when I finished my last job, I just didn't really know. I knew as an end user that I loved the functionality of Salesforce, and I knew that's somewhere that I wanted to go, but I didn't really know how to get started with it. So I had a conversation with someone just like me, because back in the day I didn't work for Supermums, and it's absolutely changed my life. I sit now every day looking out of my window onto my garden whilst I'm talking to lovely people like you, and talking through potential careers. Again, as with anything you do, nothing's guaranteed in this life, but you have to work for it to get to where you want to be. And I'm hoping that by a conversation with me, I'll be able to get you there. So again, I'm going to now put Kate's link in. Let me just grab that for you. Let me just put that in. Can I just ask, before I put in my email address and my Calendly link, which is going to be important for you to be able to talk to me, can I just ask, does anyone have any questions for me at all? I'm going to pause that, and I'm going to just grab my my email address, and then I'll drop that in. And then if you think of anything in the meantime, let me know, because I'm always happy to help. Or of course, email me, and I can answer one-to-one. So this is my Calendly link, and all you need to do is to click on that link, find a time that works for you, and just book in a slot. It's a 30-minute session. We'll have a conversation one-to-one, you and I. I say you and I, the other day, I had a lady who booked in with me, but as it happens, it ended up being the lady with her mother and her sister. And all three of them have different backgrounds. And now the brother has also contacted me. He's a postman and he just wants to change his life. And again, back to that word of mouth thing, his sisters have told him about it, and he's looking at it. So potentially there could be a group of them all studying together. And I think sometimes that's really nice. I had a group of ladies who, and I will just add in there, it's not just ladies that do our training. I mean, I've already told you about Bill. We have globally mums and dads that join our calls, so our courses. So it doesn't matter where you've come from, doesn't matter your background. You can absolutely join one of our training courses. The next admin course is coming up very soon. It's in November. So again, talk to me about that. I can give you dates and deadlines and everything else. So let me just pop in my email address, because if you want to ask me a question, you can just email me. There. Okay. So I think I'm probably going to take it. There's no questions, not on here anyway. So that's fine. I don't expect, but if you think of anything afterwards, you can always drop it in the chat, because I will keep an eye on it. Or as I say, please just send me an email or book in some time with me, and I'd be delighted to talk you through next steps, first steps, wherever you are in your career. We can talk about where to take it further. If you're someone that's watching that has already got an admin cert, you might want to talk about marketing cloud or data cloud or CRM analytics or consultancy. You might want to be a business analyst. I mean, there's so many different roles that you can choose. So I am here to help you. I am always delighted to talk to you. And if there's no further questions, I'll see you next Wednesday. I nearly said Monday. So I hope that's helped to learn a little bit about what other people have done with their careers, and how doing Salesforce training and learning Salesforce has changed people's life. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you at 5 o'clock next Wednesday. Take care.